What's going on? What's going on, Bernie?
Bill City.
What's up,
What's
my,
happening?
what's up, my brother? How we doing? How we doing? How was that parade, bro? Yeah, I was seeing it, and I was like, wow, like a lot of people came out, man. A lot of people came out. We've been talking about that. That's true. So listen, man. I wanted to get into some topics, man, with you. Overall some boxing topics and pick your boxing brain as well, and get drop some gems for the people that for the casuals and for the people that are just students of the game. So first of all, I mean, I know that you was busy with the parade, but was you able to even watch some of the fights that happened on Saturday? Yeah. Uh, First off, what you think about Anthony Joshua's performance against Robert Helenius?
I was mad I missed Valdez.
Oh, you missed it. Okay.
Yeah, I missed it. Yeah. Yesterday we had the party. Yesterday we had all day we had the parade and we had the party.
Yeah, that's
So,
why I
so
asked, because I was like, it was around the same time that
yeah.
the parade was
So,
going on.
oh, okay, because they fought
Yeah,
and I didn't see it and Helene they look real cautious. Was that true?
yeah, very nervous ever since his knockdowns from Andy Louise, bro. He just can't build that confidence. Shooting, comfortable with the jab and all, but when it comes to shooting the two, he's shooting it all crooked. He doesn't know if he's gonna throw a hook or he's gonna throw a straight. Um,
He
but
got some
nevertheless, yeah. Yeah.
he got
Do you think it got something to do with, like, just him being out in the England area versus us Americans, that we kind of breed more dogs?
you said what now?
Do you believe it's like kind of because like he's like an England fighter out there? You know what I'm saying? So it's like London. I'm assuming. Yeah, I think it's London. Yeah. Like, do you think like they kind of breed guys that, like, as soon as they get knocked out, people kind of like write them off because they're never the same?
Because he got knocked out, you said?
Yeah, correct.
See, he got knocked out. You lose at anything, they everybody jump you, you know. Your confidence you gotta build on your own. You gotta get that and that was a terrible night.
Right. Yeah, 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 absolutely. Absolutely. Um Nevertheless, gearing up to your boy, man. It's nice that you guys have the win, and it just seems to me in boxing is like, what have you done for me lately type of deal. Everybody wants to figure out what's the best matchup for Terrence Crawford. I mean, he's trending tremendously on the internet right now. Um and there's been some names, and I kind of want to throw some of these names at you, what you thought about the matchups, and the first matchup I'm gonna throw at you is a matchup that I don't think is predictable, but it seems to me that it's trending a lot. And it's Javante Davis versus your boy Terrence Bud Crawford. I don't think it's a predictable fight, but what do you think about the fight?
Fight, but I know Tank ain't. And it's like
Yeah,
big good guy. Uh, it's just gonna have a media. You don't have can't know he ain't got no can't have no pool because we don't need Tank. So I think that's just
right. Um, Leading up to the win, before I get into any more matchups, talking with your brother, obviously, embracing this win. Uh, what have there been some changes? Obviously, we see him in a lot more podcasts that are, known. Um, but besides that, is there any type of more of a joy of, being the undisputed champion at 147 pounds now?
same. Everything the same. You know, ain't everything the same.
Right.
We won. That's it. We won, family. Do that. It's in stone now. I mean, shit is in stone.
Hmm.
Everything to be said for real.
And put it in and put it into fruition as well. Um, Now, like I said before, everybody wants to see what's next for Bud, and everybody wants to talk about where where can someone put some pressure on beating him. Some people, talking to Zab Judah, he says there's nobody really out there that can give him trouble unless he goes all the way up to 68 and fight Canelo. He even has him beating Canelo at 168 pounds. Um, then there's, if he stays, and I guess the IBF has mandated Boots Ennis. So if he stayed at 147 pounds to fight Boots, I always wanted to get your thought on that subject specifically.
Well, Boots is a good world champion at 147. Limpiness wasn't no class. So he did fight a world champion before, but it wasn't even worth mentioning.
Mm.
But with his rankings and on the learning curve right now, you see, you still got some more to go. And I don't
On
think
the learning
challenging
curve
a
right
guy
now.
like Bud Crawford
Still
right
got some
now
more to go.
will be smart for him. I think, like I say, fight a Keith Thurman. That's a good fight. Keith Thurman need to do something more to probably prove that he deserves a shot. So I think that's a good fight. Proven champion in the division. Only got one loss to Manny Pacquiao, and it was close. So I think Keith Thurman is being overlooked. I think you need to fight Keith Thurman. I think that's a good fight for him. Keith Thurman will be a good test for him, especially being that he's a bigger welterweight, and all the experience that he's come with. I think Keith Thurman will be the right direction for him to see if he's ready for a Bud Crawford or some Errol Spence or somebody.
when it when it comes down to the eye test, and when it comes to the IQ, without him being able to show his talent in the TV and the pros, does he possess, in your eyes as a coach, the biggest test as a welterweight? Let me rephrase that. Not biggest test, biggest challenge in the welterweight division.
Nah, I wouldn't say, like I say, none of the fights easy, but I don't think I think Bud outclassed that guy and stop him.
Stop Bud.
Bud, you see, he got Donna, stop him. You see how Bud is now. He in his game now. That's one thing he had over. If you could say, Mayweather might have had more. Nah, I ain't even gonna say that. Speed as Pretty Boy Floyd. But as they have matured and everybody keep comparing them guys, now, Bud knocks you out. Bud knocks you out. Bud knocks you out. He in there to knock you out. Mayweather was in there to make you look foolish, or that's what he tended more to do. Bud steps to you. Bud steps to you. So out of all the defense that Bud got and the fast hands and the counter punching ability, everything, that's what separates him and Floyd is that he's always looking to knock you. Now Floyd, they say his hands, but I don't even think that's just his mentality. Crawford's mentality is to knock you out. He's not going there to look for the knockout, but he's not going to take it. You know what I mean? If he catch you wrong, you out of there. He's going to try to get you out of there. So yeah, I think that's the difference in that. And I think Crawford, you better stay away from Crawford if I was Ennis.
Mm.
If I was Ennis, I'll stay away.
Now, in the
Yeah.
yeah, and now when we talk about the text messages that Wallow put out there and stuff like that, do you believe you know
What text message?
you didn't see the text messages that Wallow put, that shared, that Wallow put Terrence and Boots on? It went viral.
Mm-mm.
Talking about, trying, I know that they're Philly guys and they're just trying to get their Philly guy, a big fight or just the attention itself. But my question
Yeah.
is like, do you think that, and I know they don't know boxing like that yet, but in the same time, it's like, do you believe that it's more for hype, or is it really more like they really want that fight? Do you believe they really want that fight?
Mm, yeah, they would love to dream that their guy can beat a guy like Bud Crawford, you know, and the amount of attention that he's getting in the eye test that he's showing, they would love to mention that guy. They would love for that to happen, but no. I mean, Bud put him on the spot, man, and showed him, man, you have not been trying to fight me. You were my mandatory and whenever another time ago. You passed that up. You kept every time they asked him after a fight, he literally Spence. Every time. They have to ask him about Crawford to say about Bud. He always said Spence. So I think that just said right there, and a lot of these guys don't have you know, it's okay to just bow out at the time. Ali, I just seen a thing on Ali, and he was talking about Sonny Liston. They said, "Well, you don't think you can beat him right now?" He said, "No, not right now. Maybe about a year and a half." Everybody knows Sonny Liston is the uncrowned champ. He's a good boy, and everybody's ducking him. You understand? He said another time they asked him, "Well, where would you rate yourself at?" He said, "Well, I'm rating myself at about number 2 right now." He said, right after I forgot some other guy, and this is Ali. So Nobody. And another thing I was thinking was these guys are not probably super paid, and but they getting treated well. You know, how come they not like happy just to be the young G's on the way up? Because there's how can I say? It's a lot that go into that to being the next up. You know, they potentially they kind of treat you like that without all the pressure when you next up. You know, and so I don't understand why these guys why they don't embrace that. You know, can you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Why they don't
absolutely.
embrace that? It's like,
It's a 10-year gap.
you know, yeah, get yourself together. You know, first get yourself together, and it's really public though. It ain't really Boots. It's really the public. You know, it's really those guys like Wallow and everybody else just keep saying this, and it's the haters. You know, they're not. Nobody I've ever heard ask him to fight Keith Thurman. None of these guys never said for no validation to fight Keith Thurman. They all over there on Showtime. Nobody asked. Everybody dismissing Keith Thurman, and Keith Thurman was a unified champion and beat everybody in the division and all that good stuff. And everybody not mad at Keith Thurman. He won those fights with
Danny Garcia,
Barrios.
Sean Porter, Barrios. Yep.
And when he just came back them two fights, so he didn't look spectacular. It wasn't worth $90, but he whooped them guys.
Hmm.
Easy. He handled those guys. So everybody's it's like the perception thing. You know, everybody just shitting on Keith Thurman. But I think that's a good fight for Boots, man. But you know, Bud will tune him up if they make him, I guess. You know, if you really want Buzz, if you really want Bud, then you know how you gotta get to Bud. You gotta talk crazy to Bud. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, because
yeah.
he's definitely
Make
one of
it
the real
personal.
ones. Yeah.
Yeah, make it personal. Make it personal.
Mm.
Yeah, make it personal.
I
So
talked to plenty of legends. It's his Bud's time. There's really nobody touching him, and everyone's saying it. If you not a believer now, you definitely will be a believer in their rematch. At 54. Now at 54, right? Do you feel like Bud is
mm,
just gonna just leave 47 alone and just campaign at 54, making it easy on his body, knowing that he's about to turn what 36 in September,
yeah.
right?
Well, yeah. I think that I ain't gonna say he's gonna leave 47 behind because I know he can make the weight. Um, but it's just like where we at right now. You know what I mean? We really should have already been there, so to speak, being everything that we accomplished and being on a pound for pound list for so many years and this and that and this and that. But now we here, so like I say, it'll be if I'm him, then I'm fighting Keith Thurman. If Errol Spence don't happen, then I'm fighting Keith Thurman. And if I'm not fighting Keith Thurman, then I'm fighting Jamel Charlo. You know, I'm fighting Jamel Charlo. And if Jamel Charlo happen, don't then I'll probably move up. And but see, like I say, fight for the vacant title or something, then I will make me officially a world champion. But being that Charlo is still gonna be the champion, that's just what I know. Charlo is a strong fighter, accomplished going into the veteran stages as a fighter. And I think it's a good look. I hate that he's gonna fight Canelo,
I know, bro.
not only in the sense that I feel like he have a good chance to beat Zoo and then fight us. Canelo is a good fight, but it's a more of a fight that he probably could lose, you know?
It's a check.
So huh?
It's a check.
Yeah. No, but I think he's definitely coming to win the fight.
Yeah, yeah.
He's definitely coming to win the fight. It's just that, like I say, I think the Zoo is a more winnable fight.
Correct.
And You know what I mean? And so coming off a loss and we're fighting him, might take some luster off of it. But either way it go, he's still the undisputed champion at 154 pounds. So, it is what it is, and ain't no shame in losing to a guy like Canelo, who still only had two losses now,
Okay.
and who's Hall of Famer and all the type of skill set that Canelo Alvarez holds. Speed, power, timing, he got it all. Canelo pound for pound, So like that's where I think we would be at with that though. But like I say, Boots is a hell of a young guy to have, and it's a good thing for Bud too because a guy like Boots will keep you motivated, and keep you hungry, to protect your throne. Still know that you can't get comfortable. You know what I mean? So either way, it's good for Bud. I'm happy for him. Like I say, Tank, Boots, Keith Thurman, even though Keith Thurman out, but Bud is a ticket seller. Bud is a highlight guy. So I think Keith Thurman can sell the fight. He won't be a favorite, but I think he'll sell the fight. And to see Bud thought that would be his hardest fight. He always picked Keith Thurman to be a harder fight than any of the other guys. Just Keith Thurman.
Yeah, I overheard some people talking in your camp talking about, the Sean Porter fight was going to be a harder fight than Spence, due to the fact of the style. Um, and I feel like that's probably what they feel as well when it comes down to Keith Thurman. Do you believe?
Well, I think that Keith Thurman, his feet, he moves a lot. So that always causes a problem, movement. So I think that's where it's at. Sean Porter is a bull and Earl Spence was a bulldozer. When you thinking about, meeting force with force, that's quick, that's easier than a fleet footed, chasing something.
Hmm.
So I think that I think that's where the problem, that's where that lies, that's where that came from. So I think Bud built in his mind that Sean Porter's not going to bulldoze me. Errol Spence, I'm gonna, his strength, I'm gonna, he's gonna come with this, but I know what I'm gonna do when this moment comes. I'm telling myself over and over what I'm gonna do. I'm practicing. I'm believing it. You know what I'm saying? Instead of when a guy dancing on you, hell, shit, how you can't care? How you gonna, man? Jesus. So uh, I think that's that. But I think again, Keith Thurman is a established guy. He's a good fighter. He's don't have the best style, but he's an accomplished fighter and he's a crafty fighter. And it's a good fight to have. A good money fight.
100%. Now, just going off of the Mel and Canelo fight, like in your prediction, if you had to throw the bag in it, who would you lean towards as far as skill, and who would win?
I think Canelo got the better skill. Canelo got the better overall arsenal. But Charlo got some good things that he do, and he felt he I think he's motivated to make history. I think he's a guy of more substance. Like I say, I think the only thing that those guys have in common is that they're brothers, that they're twins, that they look alike. I think their hearts and their minds are different. And just from what I've seen of Charlo, and I say this over and over, is that I respect him. I think he's a guy of substance and of character. So I think he's going to trying to win the fight. And again, that's a hell of a thing to beat a guy like Canelo, to be undisputed in two different weight classes at the same time. You understand? So it's a win-win situation for him. He gonna get big money.
Big
He gonna fight the
exposure.
best of the best. You know what I mean? Big exposure, all those different things. So it's a win-win for him. But I think he's really going there trying to win the fight.
When we talked about the Al Heyman train, I see this is part of that, in the same tracks when it comes down to him and his brilliant mind of, prepping big fights, just playing chess with the board and just coming off of, hey, Jamel, I got two big fights for you, and the winner of Spence and Crawford going to get this and that. So it's beautiful for boxing. But if you had to put your bag in it, you had to throw a little money in that fight, who would you lean towards when it comes to Canelo and Jamel?
Well, I would favor Canelo, but I'm not a better. I'm not a betting man.
Okay.
But I think at the same time too, what you was leaning on for Al Heyman and them is this. the best ain't hard to spot. Canelo is a guy you want to deal with. Bud is a guy you want to deal with. They the best. You understand? So, um, and they in the glamour divisions. Canelo was a middleweight, and he brings the country of Mexico and everything else. He got it. And Bud is a welterweight, which is a star division. And so I think it's all about the money. You know what I mean? So, and the best ain't hard to spot. So I don't think it's like how you said for real. It's just like, of course, I want to do business with this guy. It's all about how can we make a deal? Can I make him happy? You know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Um, Second knockdown comes. Terrence throws. He's on the ropes. Throws a really short uppercut. Drops Spence. Goes to the neutral corner and looks straight at Jamel. And it was a crazy moment. It reminds me of Roberto Durant when he fought. When he was talking to Roberto.
Mm.
Like it was just one of those historical moments.
Uh, well, no, like he said, I was just in the moment. He was just in the moment. You know what I mean? And I know what it is to be up in the ring, and I understand when you're on the stage and, like you say, embracing the moment. You know, he seen one of his biggest haters right there, or competitors right there, and you know what I mean. He felt it. He felt dominant over this guy, and he just lived in the moment. But again, like you say, he respect Charlo and everything, and hope he win the fight and welcomes the fight. And he's like he said, I didn't have no trouble with him. He had trouble with me only for the simple fact that me and Spence was gonna fight. That's his biggest gripe with me. That we in the same division and we got to fight. So that's kind of a little something on Charlo. If I could say any weakness that I seen in him. I'm on an interview, honey.
In the same time, there's so many people speculating, you know, how boxing is, that people seen that Terrence was the biggest, and he looked physically stronger than him. Um, certain people were throwing out a steroids talk. I don't believe in any of that, but in the same time, as a coach, can you tell us exactly, like, the type of training camp that he had to have his physical body look the way it did?
Well, Bud always looked good. I mean, he always been strong. He always manhandled everybody in the ring with.
Mhm.
So it was just because it was Earl Spence. That's the only difference. Like you said, I guess he just gonna be another nobody that I fought. Am I
Yeah.
lying?
I'm like, did he do extra pull-ups or something? Because he boy looked strong, you know what I'm saying? Like, he looked
He always
physically.
looked. Listen, I know, but I feel like everybody is as explosive as the performance was. Y'all just only hyping it up because it was Spence. If he'd have did that to somebody else, y'all wouldn't have said he looked strong. Y'all wouldn't have said that he looked like sharp. He looked like this. If it was, you know, what's his name? What's his name? Stanley Onis or somebody. You know, even if it was a Virgil Ortiz, you might not even did. You might not have. So I think that's just that's what everybody's saying. Because they had Spence in such a high regard,
Right,
and they had him as such a strong guy. And he breaks orbital bones, and he does this, and he does that, and then Bud, like you say, he did it. So now Bud looks so much this and so much that when he always been looking like that. He just
right,
he looked spectacular in all the fights. He was more sharper and focused in this fight, I think, for sure. As
mhm,
you would be, but like I say, he looked good in all them damn fights. Shit, he did some the great performances against, like he named them, Postal, uh, Diaz. Might
every
have got
fight.
caught one time, but he looked good, man. He looked strong. He never looking like he's behind. He never looked like he's getting pushed around. Man, every time Bud looked like he
Not
handled
going the
business.
distance.
Yeah, come on now. All right.
But in the same time, right, working on some other matchups that are on the way. Um, do you? But you said, I don't know if I don't remember the last time we spoke. where you think Bud's ceiling is when it comes to the division?
You said what now?
As far as Bud's ceiling when it comes to divisions, you think
Oh,
he's gonna cap
54,
at?
man. 54, man. Come on.
Okay.
Yes, 54, bro.
I mean, with these special fighters, bro, you just never know. You really just never
He
know.
said it. He said it himself though. Bud
Okay.
was a 30. Bud was a tiny guy. Bud was a 32 pounder,
Yep.
25 pounder, 12 pounder, 6 pounder. He ain't man. Nah, he ain't. No, that's too big.
Right. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Um, In the same time, guys, make sure you guys smash the like button. We got 66 people on the live. Make sure you get these likes up. Make love to the like button. Finger the like button. Do whatever the hell you got to do with the like button. We here with one of the better coaches in the business right now, and the number one pound for pound fighter in the world, Bernie
That's right.
Davis.
That's right. That's right. It's Bernie the Boxer. You know who it is. It's yours truly, baby. I say, did you miss me? And we just in the kitchen. Huh? We in the kitchen, baby. Hold on. Did I
It
flick
look
it
like
up for you?
where the stove
We in the
at?
kitchen, man.
Where the
We
stove
in the
at?
kitchen, man. We in the kitchen, man. Baby over there, we in the kitchen, man. We getting it together, man. Baby got them biscuits going. We
Oh
got them Brenda
no!
K cookies, man. This
Oh
is the
no!
house, man. I'm just chilling, man. Yeah.
Yeah, living
Yeah,
good
you
at
caught me on a Monday.
it.
Yeah.
So coming up and gearing up to some other fights, man. There's been talks of the Regis Prograis and Devin Haney fight. A lot of people seen that Regis Prograis didn't have the greatest performance in his last fight. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of people have misdirections on the Lomachenko and Devin Haney fight. Obviously, Devin Haney's holding his WBC title at 135 pounds still. What do you think about this fight? I just got off. Actually, my last interview was Regis, and then I just hopped on with you right now. So, what you think about the fight, and why you think the negotiations haven't been really like signed in behalf of Haney
Oh, why he ain't signed the fights with
with Regis? Because I'll give you the real right now. I just got off with Regis, and Regis said that the fight date was actually the contract was for a November date. It's a middle of the month November date. October 28th or 9th is cap. There's just no such thing in that date. So, what do you think about that?
with okay. So Devin ain't signing the fight with Program.
It's still not. It's still not there. Devin said something
Uh,
about Tyson Fury date was the venue was occupied, but in reality,
yeah.
October 29th was not the date for the fight anyway.
Yeah. Well, I think the fight gonna happen. I think the fight gonna happen. Prograis gonna get his wish. He gonna get the fight happen and he gonna get beat. I think Devin Haney just gonna outbox him. I think, like I say, Devin probably be a little happier at 140, and I think he can outbox him. He gonna be a lot more sharper than Zerillo had a good punch on him too. So Prograis had rights to be a little leery of these guys, especially when these guys you don't know who they are. They come out of nowhere. You can't take nobody lightly. And like I say, that guy was a decent fighter. He wasn't coming to fight, and he was a good, fast counter punching motherfucker who could punch a little bit. So Prograis just need to work on his skills, and that's why Prograis he's a good fighter, but he got some working on things to do. And as a world champion, those are things that you should be working on instead of other shit that they be doing. Working on. So cutting the ring off or letting a guy come to you, learning how to fight on your back foot. So those are things that could have helped him in that fight, learning how to fight on his back foot. But I think he gonna have a fight. I got into it with did you watch us on the Porter Sean? Did you watch us at the
Yeah, the other
Porter
day
Way?
I watched a
Okay,
little
yeah,
bit of it.
yeah.
Tell us a little bit
Oh,
about what
okay.
you're about to say.
Oh, okay. And like I said, so me and Ness, he's a lover of Devin Haney, right?
I
And
know
Devin Haney can do no wrong with Devin. Understand? So, but he said that see they offered
Shakur
Shakur
25%.
25%, which he deserved more than that
Of course.
based on his popularity, based on what he accomplished, and all these other type of things, right? So basically, and then he undisputed. So Shakur really didn't want it. That was my assumption. That's what he's saying. And Shakur should have just took it and did this and just be happy. But then again, Devin now he's moving up, right? So why not fight Teofimo Lopez? So they say because he's the lineal champion. Now he might not be have all the belts, but he beat the guy that had all the belts, and they took the belts over nonsense, right? So why not fight him? Because he's the lineal champion. They say, well, Tio wanted 20 million. Well, they said, well, Tio didn't want the fight because he wanted to 20 million. But Teofimo is an undisputed champion and a lineal champion again at another weight and beat the number one guy at the division and beat the stew out of him. So why he not worth 20 million? You understand? Devin Haney, you just beat your biggest guy was Lomachenko. You just won. You the undisputed champion. You did this. You got all this hype. You got all this coming behind you. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying. So
Tio beat Loma when he was on the pound for pound list as well.
yeah, Tio was on the pound for pound list.
Tio beat Loma when Loma was on the pound for
Yeah,
pound list.
yeah. So at the same time, right? And Lomachenko, he beat Lomachenko better than you did, for real. You feel me? Beat Lomachenko worse than you did, because I don't think he beat Lomachenko. But I just, like I say, Devin, my thing on Devin is again, even if okay, if you're not gonna fight Shakur at 35, then fight Tio and make it, you know what I'm saying? Make it to where y'all can make the fight happen. It's on you to make the fight happen. But he's trying to run around like he beat Lomachenko, the stew out of Lomachenko. Now that I'm thinking about it, now that I'm talking about it out loud and thinking about it, he's thinking like how Tio did when he beat Lomachenko. You know how he was on his high horse and how you could just tell his whole little, his stock went up, but you could tell his whole little, you know what I mean? Like he thought he was, you know,
Him.
the best thing walking. You know what I mean? And he had to get brought down. So um I think that's how kind of he thinking. Devin's thinking, and he's trying to ride this undisputed wave, like he's trying to use that as the end all to be all. You know what I mean? And like I say, he need to worry more about his reputation and his character than his. I mean, he need to worry about his character than his reputation. Because his image. You feel me? That's what I figure he should be worrying. So with the controversy that he's getting, because the people is always going to be the ones that determining. You understand? And the majority of the people think he lost that fight to Lomachenko. The majority of the people want to see him fight Shakur, right? And I think that if you, as any type of athlete or as persons, as anybody, we want to please, and it's incumbent on us to do so. I think that again, it would have been in his character or of substance to fight Teofimo. Now
Well,
don't leave, homeboy. I'm on my way up. When as soon
mhm.
as he said he was retiring, please don't. I was hoping we could get it in. You know, come on now. That's
I,
all I'm saying.
like I'm no fool when it comes to this. I know that Bill is a great businessman, and I know that he used to be a pimp. You know what I'm saying? So he knows how to take. And at the end of the day, I see that what Bill's trying to do is get the WBC belt to be able to have more leverage in negotiations for a Teofimo Lopez fight. Because you already know Teo definitely does oppose a bigger risk than Regis. So I want to be able to make sure I make the most money possible. Do you agree?
Mm, I think it could be a strategic plan, but if I believe in my son like they say I do, or like they saying, shit, just go up there and beat Tio.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need no stupid ass trinket because Tio really the champion anyway. I mean, are we being for real? I mean, like I say now, I know in a like you say in a political game. Okay, let me say this. Let me say this. Let me say this. Okay, in life, mm, let me say maybe I'm a janitor, but they make me the principal. All they know is I'm the principal. So when they ask my mother, what does he do? He's the principal, but I'm really the janitor. They just made me the principal. I mean,
Talking shit. Talking shit.
I'm just, I'm just, I'm just saying, So now I'm gonna sit next to a person that really worked to be the principal
Hmm.
and feel like we're equal. I'm
Right.
just saying, I don't. How can I? You know what I mean? So the shit, how you win again, is really by default. Like even Prograis, uh, it's still by default. But again, at least he fought for the title. And so that's what I wanted to say with them guys too, though. For Boots and Zoo. If those guys do happen to get, the stripped, if Bud gets stripped, if Zoo, if Charlo gets stripped, make those guys fight somebody for those vacant titles. Don't bump you up to no champion. You can't be bumped up to the champion. Now again, so now in the real world, everything I just said about the substance and everything like that, being the principal. But this is the way the shit go. You feel me? So again, you fought for the world title. At least you fought somebody for the world title and have to clear it up. It's been controversial for the world title for years, ever since boxing come around. You know what I mean? So um uh that's just something that you have to deal with on your own. But at least fight somebody for the vacant title. Don't let them upgrade you to world champion. You understand? So if Boots have to get upgraded for the, don't let them say, no, I'm not going to take an upgrade. Fight me with Stanley Onis or Virgil Ortiz or Keith Thurman for the title. You feel me? If I'm Zoo, let me fight Lubin or the Mendoza that knocked out Fundora or somebody for the title. Don't upgrade me to the champion. I refuse to be upgraded to a champion. And that's substance within yourself. So that's what I would ask the boxing media and public, whoever listening and whoever else can do all that. Put them on that.
Yeah, I
You
agree.
understand?
I definitely agree.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
when we talk about that division though, if you had to see a fight with Haney and Tio, I mean, who would you lean towards?
I'm picking Tio.
Me
I
too.
think Tio can move, he can punch, he can box, he can take a punch. Devin can't punch. And
Hmm.
shit, Tio gonna beat his
And Tio
ass.
got
Tio gonna
dog
be
too.
hyped up. Yes, Tio hyped up to beat his ass. Anyway, so Devin Haney better stay away from Tio man.
Mm.
Devin Haney, he they like I say, come here, honey. You know, mm, mm, I guess when you living in a nice house and you got money and everything, and you got a lot of people loving you and everything, it's easy. It's easy to lie to yourself, But I mean, man, I man, disappointment to me. And even at this, like I say, as far as Devin, okay, baby, go sit down. Even at this, because I'm old fashioned and I'm terrible and I ain't nobody, you know what I mean? But if it was on me, because in this world right now, in life, you can live really, really good with $2 million. I mean, $1 million. You can live really good with something to keep some sustainable income.
Hmm.
Okay. Because all the other stuff that count in life is not really money. But to have that type of money, you can live a pretty good life and do what you want. So with these type of guys, in my situation, I'm thinking if I had that type of situation where I got at least that type of money and I'm gonna be good, set, living my life, being able to eat steak and whatever else I want and feed my family like comfortable for the rest of my life, I'm pretty much there. I'm there. I want to fight the best and have substance. Okay, so I can't fight Shakur Stevenson at 35 because I'm too, that's too low of a weight. Well, how about we fight at a catch weight? Great fighters fight at weights at all the time. You don't have to be for the title. I'm fighting you as the fighter. You know what I'm saying? Your skill set, your ability.
Hmm.
That's what we're really trying to get.
Hmm.
That's what that's what I'm saying. When you looking at when you look at a fighter's resume, you look at who he fought, you're like, damn, he was tough. Damn, he was tough. Feel me? He didn't beat him, but I seen him whoop so many good guys. I seen him put on so many good performances. I seen, you know what I mean? So uh, that's just all my.
Absolutely. What do you think of him? Holding the W.
Or one more last thing. Or one last thing. Or one last thing. Forget it. Lord willing, I go up and fight Prograis and win the title at 40.
Hmm.
Shakur come up and fight me at 40. I
Mm.
still want the fight. I still want the fight. Still come and fight me at 40. I make 38 for you. I don't know.
What do you think about him holding that WBC belt at 35 while trying to get this fight with Prograis? And before you answer that, guys, we got 108 people on the live right now. Once again, man, we got to get these likes up. We got to get these likes up. We got the one and only Bernie the Boxer. You know what I'm saying? One of the top coaches in the game right now. I believe that the whole Terrence Crawford team deserves Coach of the Year. To be honest with
Yes,
you,
sir.
because I know it's like what, like 4 or 5 of you guys putting in a lot of work with Terrence for over the years. But guys, smash the like button if you like this interview. So yeah,
Now
what you
listen,
think?
y'all keep saying, hold on, wait. Y'all keep saying about trainers and all the other fighters got a lot of trainers too. Y'all
True.
never when Broner came in there with Barry Hunter, with Kevin Cunningham, Stafford, with Boog. Y'all never said that with Broner. Y'all never said that with Broner. You know what I mean? And I know he worked with them guys, but y'all never said that. So the thing too about us though, like I said, all been together too though. They all been together for a long time too. So, but nobody never made a big deal about that. And with us, it's like, you know, I don't know why they make such a big deal about it. It's uh everybody got assistants, everybody got helpers, everybody,
Yeah,
all of them.
yeah,
Derrick James got somebody to help him. He didn't show him, but he got somebody in there to help him. Uh uh Freddie Roach has got Marvin Shimoda.
So
They
wait a
got
minute, you're
guys in
telling me
there to
people
help
make
him.
a big deal out of this?
Yeah, they always say that.
You guys can't
Like I
fight
say,
for
even Derrick.
Terrence regardless.
Exactly, exactly, exactly. But no, I mean, I don't mind though. It's good because, like I say, it's more eyes than one, and we all been with the kid, and it's just like putting your people on too. Like you say, they came to Red, got Red, and Red wasn't at the time wasn't qualified, but over the years he learned. You know what I mean? And they picked me up along the way at the on the back end, and to get whatever else I can contribute, and put me on payroll, and take me. So that's just like helping the family. That's what like everybody else. Give your people you know what I'm saying? So
The real recognizes
all
real,
right.
man.
Yeah. Appreciate you.
Um, you know, going off of that 25%, offering Shakur that percentage on the back end of the pay-per-views. What do you think Devin was trying to do? Obviously, you give that to somebody for a mandatory, but Shakur Stevenson is not a regular mandatory. So,
Hmm.
do you think that was a sign of ducking? Do you think that?
Yeah. Yeah. And it was a sign of all the burgers on, baby. What's wrong? Oh, you're not on it. But no, I think that he just trying to stick it to Shakur. Shakur been trying to get at him and been kind of like taunting him a little bit. And I think that's just his way of being. Devin is he's not taken in by the culture like he want to. He's looking for that acceptance. So, anything he can do to be an asshole, you know what I mean, or like almost like a Mayweather. You know how they perceive Mayweather to be. I think that's pretty much what he's doing. Instead of loving your brother and just getting some money with him, you feel me? Everybody just wanted to fight. You can't help who love who and who like this person and who like that person. You know what I mean? But he's doing everything to be loved and accepted. But that shit ain't. They don't motherfuckers don't give a fuck about that. Motherfuckers don't give a fuck about your $400,000 watch or all your nice clothes and shit like that. Motherfuckers want to see you perform in the ring. People want to see you be like I say, a fighter. That's what you're here to do, a fighter. You're not a model, bro. You're a fighter, you know? And these guys don't even watch the study fighters to understand how a fighter live and how the fighter thinks, you know? The last one I probably was like Mike Tyson, you know? Like I'm saying, it's not about how you fight, but how you live. And this guy, like a guy like Devin Haney is, man, he a millennial to the max, especially when it comes to this boxing, you know, because me and Lomachenko have to run it back. That's how the old school fighters went. Charlo, an old school fighter. That's why him and Tony Harrison, even though they called it a loss, but that's why they ran it back.
And
Castano,
Castano
that's
too.
why they ran it back. You understand? So, you know, the old fighters, Marquez and Little Marquez and what's his name? Marquez and Vasquez, you know, the 122-pound shit, they fought 4 times.
Yeah.
Barrera and Morales. You know, these guys, they gotta get it in because it's a dispute still, you know, and even at that situation, like I say with
Pacquiao
Devin, I'm done
Marquez.
talking about I'm done. Yeah, Rafael Marquez. I want to be done talking about Devin. And I keep going back to the same thing is even if you didn't want to do that, like I say, you could at least have some substance and go and fight Tio at 140. He's the best at 140. Shakur is the best at 135. You can't make 35. Go and at least fight the best at 140. So, or you know, so that those are things that you know, that just kind of don't sit right with me. And
Um,
Anthony Joshua, who threw the belts down and had a tantrum after his last loss to Usyk, that's when he lost me.
mm. When we talk
Mhm.
about the skill level of Devin and Shakur, um, obviously, it's just by the naked eye, you could see who has more skill. Some people don't. If you're more of a casual, and if you're probably from Cali, but nevertheless, if they had to fight, how do you see it going down?
I think it'll go much like their sparring session. I think they had a good
Back and
sparring
forth.
session. I think yes, I think it'll do like that. In the later rounds, it'll tell, you know. And probably Shakur will be that because I think he got more dog in him than Devin. I think he has more grit. I think he has more, like I say, dog than Devin Haney. So, um, yeah, I think that's how the fight will play out. You know, maybe Shakur end up stopping him late, or you know, just walking him down like Floyd did Zab Judah.
Mm, mm. Um, you see, so you see that going the distance.
Like I say, if Shakur don't get in that zone and stop him, Floyd was gonna stop Zab Judah. If he get into that type of, I can see that happening where he actually stops him if Devin don't do nothing crazy and hit him low.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm.
Mm.
Um, when we talk about Shakur and Tank, I think it's one of the biggest fights at 135. How do you see that fight playing out, and who do you favor?
I think that's a pick 'em fight too. Um,
Pick 'em.
I would edge Shakur because I think that his defense is really good. You know, even in the pocket, and it's gonna be a hell of a fight. But um, you know, I think Shakur really wants to be a champion. I think he needs to be a champion. You know, I think he hates to not have a championship belt around his waist, and I think that's what his ultimate goal is. And being with a guy that's Devin Haney that's so close um, to like that. Actually, I don't even know how. What was the point of signing Devin Haney to get him and get out of there if he wasn't going to stay with Top Rank? When Shakur is a mainstay at Top Rank. You know what I'm saying? Now that I'm thinking about it, like why would I not? Why would I bring Devin in if I'm not going to get him to fight Shakur? That's the main fight. Why I brought him in? Um, why would I help Devin Haney get to the title for what? Just for that, for he can leave me and do his own thing, and you know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, that just occurred to me at the time. But shit, yeah, man, I don't know. Like I say, I think that Tank and Shakur would be a hell of a fight, and that's the main fight. And I think that Shakur wants the titles So that way it'll be help him too with the money too. Even though he's still gonna make good money, but that fight is almost like Bud and Spence on the smaller, the little guys. That's the fight that needs to happen. Two guys entering in their prime for all the marbles at lightweight, which is Tank's best weight, and Shakur's probably maximum weight. I would think, in my
And,
mind, in my opinion.
and what's crazy, Bernie, is that when we talk about in the history of boxing, there's no fight that you can compare that fight to. If you really think about it, they're two southpaws, right?
Mhm.
One with
Yeah.
tremendous knockout power, and one with tremendous distance and great defense. One of the best defense in
Yeah.
boxing. Isn't there? There's nothing really to say. I mean, we could say Pernell Whitaker, but like who did he fight that was like Tank? You know,
Uh, well, nobody like Tank. Nobody's like Tank. But I think Tank. mm, let me see. Who would I say? Nah, because Tank. Well, the only real person he knocked out was Santa Cruz. That was knocked out was Santa Cruz. Everybody else he stopped them, and those were kind of small guys too. To be honest, they were smaller guys coming up. But the fact is that when you read knockout, that's all you read is that he knocked them out. But I'm telling the truth, the main guy he knocked out was Santa Cruz. He ain't knocking nobody else out like that. Almost had Ryan, but Ryan got up off of that.
nah, not Rolly.
Oh, but that was like a check hook shot, and Rolly was about to get up. Rolly wasn't asleep.
He
So I'm
was
saying I
sleeping
know he got the
hard.
power to hurt
He,
you.
if the ref let Rolly up, that would have been messed up.
Yeah. No, Tank was definitely gonna put him out. Definitely gonna stop him. So like I said, he got the power to turn your lights out with one shot. I couldn't. You right. Far as not in that sense, far as those two type of abilities.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I was trying to say Oscar De La Hoya and Trinidad, but Trinidad was an explosive puncher too, and Oscar De La Hoya was a great master boxer too, though, because he wasn't the quintessential distance boxer, but he never was an infighting boxer. He was always a long arm boxer that kept you at the end of his punches.
Hmm.
Um, but like no, but I think it's a intriguing match, and I think that truthfully, these guys should be getting together to make the money. That's what they said. These everybody keeps saying. I think that's what they doing. That's what they seeing how to make the money and make the fans say, let's do it. That's the way anyway. And you can't losing to the best. If you lose,
Hmm.
there's no lose in the situation. Far as you know what I'm trying to say.
100%. Guys, we got 118 people on the live and only 51 likes. I need better than that. I need better than that. Bernie, like when we talk about Bud for right now, you know, does he is he trying to get back in the ring this year? If it's not, Spence.
Mm, I don't know. Like you said, this was a grueling training camp. So I'm not sure if we're ready to just go back into that right now. I think we just go ahead and end the year on a high note and you know, see what's up for next year. But I
Has any
think the Spence rematch gonna happen.
I
I
think
think
so.
that's gonna happen. Yeah, Spence wanna fight the fight again. And again, so many people will say some dumbass shit and people just so fucking dumb. Drives me nuts and say the craziest shit. But he gonna fight again, and he's all right. Ain't nothing wrong with Earl Spence. He all right. He just got his ass whooped. He gonna get his ass whooped another time, but he gonna feel better about this ass whooping.
You know what's funny about it, Bernie, is that like round one comes, I know that Terrence used it as a feel out round and just was really just downloading data. And I would probably have to give that round maybe two Spence. It's a close round though. It's a swing round to me as well. But when it comes down to the fight, how can you really dictate someone how good they did or how bad they did when it got bad for him fast. It got bad for him in the second round. You know, that
Well,
sparing jab. He's a right hander and he's jabbing with his right hand. It's different. People don't understand that. And then Bob Arum also mentioned Spence can't fight southpaws, and I've been telling people this for a while because I was a former fighter, and I know that southpaw work ain't easy to find. Good one at that.
well, I think if you're a southpaw, you should be able to fight a southpaw the same way a right-hander fight a right-hander. They got the same openings as the opposite person. So I don't know how that much that made a difference in the fight. Um, when I say do better in the fight,
But he
I'm saying he's
switches.
gonna.
Crawford, Arrow don't. So he got to find a southpaw, and he's always finding his openings. I don't really see traps that he doesn't really do traps, but he always sees one angle because it's always an orthodox angle he's always looking at.
Spence is a southpaw, right?
Spence is a southpaw,
And if Bud came out in southpaw, this is gonna be like orthodox fighting orthodox. It's
correct,
gonna
but
be the
he's not.
same.
But he's not orthodox.
I know. And Bud came out southpaw.
It was. I knew that it was going to happen that way.
So what's you saying? I don't understand. They both was fighting southpaw.
So what I'm trying to tell you is that Bob Arum, I agree with what Bob Arum was saying that Errol Spence cannot fight southpaws. He's not
I never
used.
s- who he did. That's what he should have got in training camp was a southpaw. He didn't ever
Correct,
get no southpaws. He should have got a southpaw, but I never even know who he fought was a southpaw.
right. And you got Terrence working with Shakur, a sharp southpaw. It was
No,
perfect
that
work.
ain't have nothing to do with it. That didn't have nothing to do with it.
Do with what?
Just the fact that he is southpaw, that's the only thing Shakur and him got anything to do, and Spence got in common is that they both southpaws. That ain't help Bud. Him being a southpaw, that ain't help Bud.
No, I think he fights just as good southpaw as he fights orthodox. But my
Who
thing, what?
you said Bud fights just as good?
Yeah, southpaw
I
and
know, but I'm
orthodox.
telling you, Spence didn't. Shakur didn't help Bud get ready for no Spence just because he was a southpaw. That's what I'm
No,
saying.
no, you don't believe
That
so?
ain't that ain't no no. Again, that was just like I'm saying to you is not to get ready for Spence, not for the southpaw look. That's what I'm saying. Not for the southpaw look. That didn't help him. I don't think that helped him. That wasn't it. I think that, like I say, any southpaw would have helped Spence because he would have been looking at a southpaw. That's it. He'd have been looking. He'd have been looking at a southpaw. He'd have been looking at somebody that opens that he's not normally. Bud did fought them all.
Correct.
Bud did fought them all. So uh, you know, him being it was just been the same thing. Now I can see Bud fights both. I'd have got a sparring partner that fights both, left and right. So all you needed a one that fight both, left and right. Even if you can't find one that can switch in between left and right, give you the same looks. What punches I'm gonna try to land on this guy? Just like we just focus on this guy. We gonna catch and counter. That's a general thing with any fighter. Okay, this is what I see I can do to him. Catch and counter when he do this. So when he do this, when Bud do this, I'm do this. It really wasn't nothing. He didn't have nothing to do. They didn't have no plan. Like you said, only was just a bulldoze him and beat him with the jab. And I really think that because Kell Brook had a decent little jab, they were saying that they thought his jab was going, he was going to
It's coming in
Bud
a
up with the
different
jab
direction.
or something. Yeah, man.
It's coming in a different direction. My saying in that is that like it's hard to find good southpaw work. That's what I'm trying to say. And I
So
think for Spence, it was a challenge because now you have a time deficit of being able to get used to that type of a style. Versus Crawford, he's been around them all.
southpaws is a dime a dozen now. Everybody being southpaws now.
They,
Everybody's a
but you
southpaw
heard the
now.
same. You just said it right there. They're trying to be. That was the key thing that you said.
It's more guys that's fighting out of their natural stance now. They natural southpaws. Because they Errol Spence, his he was predicated on his jab, which is his right hand, not even his left hand.
Yeah, correct.
And his left hand was nothing. Nobody never pried him on none of his punches for real. It was his overall ramped up attack. That's what Earl Spence's. It wasn't even that. His southpaw didn't even have. What was the really advantage of him being a southpaw? Now that I'm thinking about it, his whole thing was that they mentioned that he was a southpaw because everybody thinks southpaws is so whatever. But his main thing was that he threw a lot of punches that he's strong.
Okay. So, at in your top of your head, who you bringing into your camp if you're Spence? That's a great southpaw that has an
No, I
in
need
and
to
out
bring in. I
movement.
need to bring in. I would have bring in. I would have bring in all the like the USA guys. I'd have bring in guys from the young guys, the young fast guys, the young energetic guys,
Mhm.
the guys that trying to kick my ass and get a reputation.
Mhm.
Not the motherfuckers that know they plays. I need the motherfuckers in here trying to kick my ass. That's
Right.
what I need.
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
But no, nevertheless, man, it was an amazing performance. This was a great interview as well. When I was talking to you on when we first started, you was driving and I kind of got like bad reception, and I cut up all these videos up. But
yeah.
if we could revisit it, that Tank and Terrence talk, you know what I'm saying, upon what you think about it, because it's gonna be a completely separate video.
Yeah.
It's trending. Just give me your thoughts on it.
I think it's an intriguing fight. I think that if Tank wanted to make history and come up and do that without a hydration clause and just you know going off his own heart and his own talent, I think that's a tremendous fight. I think that it's a blockbuster fight, but I think it's a dangerous fight for him. I don't think he needs to take that flag. I think that he should stay where he's at with Shakur, with Haney, and Prograis, and the rest of those guys, and just be good where he at. I think stepping there with Bud is just a little bit too much to chew because Bud can fight on the back foot now. You got to understand that.
Right. Right.
You got to understand that. Now he can box on the back foot. He does take care of his body. He did not take no punishment in this fight. Tank got to lose a lot of weight every time. I'm sure he got to lose. He coming down from 40. He's higher than 47. So then you got to think about how you gonna perform at that weight too on fight night against a guy like Bud Crawford, who tall, who got long range, fast, and he getting touched up by Santa Cruz and Rollies, and you down in the first 3, 4 rounds against these type of guys. Come on, man. You had the Rolly to knock you out. You had the fall. Pitbull Cruz went the distance with you. Rolly had to fall over, which is all his short. Man, you better stay away from Crawford. So that was just him. Um, but it's a lot of jealousy against Bud. A lot of guys they gotta respect him, but a lot of them just jealous because they wish they was where he was at and they wish they had what he had. Period. All of them guys really, most of them jealous.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I guess the main comment that Tank mentioned was that he would knock out Terrence if he touched his jaw. But then I think some people were talking about that he said just kidding at the end. Regardless
Yeah.
of the fact, how do you see the ending product of that fight if it was to ever happen?
It's gonna be pretty much the same. Worse than Gambler and just as bad as this that just happened. Yeah,
Knockout.
we're gonna punish Tank. Actually, Bud can't stand Tank, so we're gonna kill him.
He can't stand him.
No, because Tank always talking shit. So we gonna this gonna be personal too as well. It's gonna be
Mm,
personal too as well. And so just know it ain't never happening. We always
mm.
say never, but Tank don't have the guts or the nuts, nothing to do that. But he gonna talk like it. That's a fact.
Mm. Um, obviously you guys spoke
Now,
and
if you
you.
want to quote me on that, now you misquoted me on Boots for your title, and I didn't like that.
What do you mean by
And
that?
we talked when you said or when you made that title about me with Boots, because that wasn't even the main conversation, top of our conversation. However, if you want to say the nuts or the guts, Bernie the Boxer say Bernie Tank don't got the nuts or the guts to fight no Crawford, then I'm cool with that. All right.
Yeah. Nah, but you gotta understand too, Bernie, that the title that I put on for the boots, you said that on in the content. So I just
I
repeated.
know, but I know that. I know that, but it still didn't have to it's still like I say, it puts a bad light on me like I'm against Boots in some type of way. And it like I know it's clickbait, but I don't like that. That's why I don't put that on my show. I don't do no clickbait. That's why I don't do that. So I don't, that's why I said that. I don't believe in that. I don't think you should have to do that. If you got good shit, people gonna watch good shit. Even though I know the world is terrible and they want sensationalism, I won't stoop that low. And that's why I said to you, don't put me in that light. Yeah,
I understand what you're saying though. I really do.
yeah,
Um, in the same time, you spoke upon and I'm a man, and I like I said, I apologize for that as well because
yeah,
it's
yeah.
true.
Like I said, we passed that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. But in the same time, bro, out of all the stories, and this is my last question, out of all the stories that you and Bud talked about after this, tremendous win, um, tell me, what is the wildest story that Bud has told you about the media speaking upon maybe his performance or an upcoming opponent?
oh no, nothing, man. Nothing. Nothing. It was just it been a dream. It just everything went smoothly from the training camp to the like I say, the entrance, the uniform, the fight, the after party, the parade, the that's what he said. Can I say that? That's what he told me yesterday at the table yesterday, because we had another private dinner for the family yesterday. He said out of everything, what I'm most proud about out of everything is that through all that, nothing bad happened.
Mm,
Nobody got hurt. It wasn't like, look at them, they can't come together, they can't do nothing without tearing nothing up or nothing. It really wasn't no bad blood like that. It wasn't no real craziness going on from the fight to the press conferences to the parade to the party at night. Nothing. Wasn't nothing. So that was if you want to say the crazy, that was that. It's like just glad that everything went out just right. So we did good. Black people, we did good. Yeah, we did good. They don't want to
well,
give us no credit. They won't even look at it like that. But we did good. Yeah, we did good. We handled ourselves well.
if you want to give last minute shout outs and if you want to put out your social media out for people to follow you as well.
Well, first, everybody that's watching, I'll give them a shout out. I appreciate everybody for watching. Tune in. If you support the kid, I appreciate you 1,000 times. Like I say, I'm a man of the people. Without y'all, I won't be nothing. That's the only reason what got me to do this is because this is what you guys wanted. Um, Super shout out to Team Crawford again. Tremendous job to everyone involved, everybody that was involved in some type of way. Shout out to all them. Shout out to B&B Boxing Academy. You understand? You know who it is. You know what it is. It's yours truly. It's Bernie the Boxer. And I'm gone. I said I'm gone.
Man, and
Gone,
you
Mill
you got a
City, man.
YouTube, Twitter?
I'm on YouTube at Bernie the Boxer. That's Bernie, Bernie. You understand? Just regular English. Then THA, that's Ebonics. Boxer, Boxer. You understand? So the is THA, not THE.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, much.
boxer. You know?
Well, man, thank
Go
you for.
to my you got to go to not my videos, but my lives. That's where all my shows is at. They ain't gonna be on my main page where it say video. It's gonna be on lives. So yeah, shout out to my girl Nika and Christine and with the boxing and all them other girls and everybody doing their thing. And I just want you guys to I really want you guys to add more substance to this. I think in life we need to add more substance, and it's the media and everybody who's putting this stuff out. Just ask for more substance. We need to. That'll be my thing is to add more substance. Like I say, the two things that I told you for any of these guys that's doing boxing media, again, add substance to it. I know we want sensationalism, but substance, like I say, Boots must fight for the title. Don't be upgraded. He shouldn't even be wearing that stupid ass belt. Tim Zoo, the same thing with WBO. Don't let them guys upgrade you. And all the YouTube people and everybody in the boxing outlets, please implore them or shame them into fighting somebody for the title and not being upgraded. That's just one thing. So I ain't gonna preach. I ain't gonna hold y'all too much longer. Mill City, I appreciate you. You know who it is. You know what it is. It's yours truly. It's Bernie the Boxer. And I'm going for real this time. All
My
love,
guy.
Mill City.
You already know, my
Yes,
man.
sir.
God bless, and on to the next. I'll see you soon.
Love, family.
Much love. That's Bernie the Boxer, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you guys smash the like button. Smash the like button. Like if you had the good looking neighbor and you don't want to cheat on your girlfriend, you don't want to cheat on your man, but you just want to smash that neighbor that is fine as hell, or smash, whatever the case that you need to do, but do something to that like button that you would never do in your life. You know what I'm saying? Finger the like button, love the like button. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe to this channel. It's Mill City Boxing, home of the high level pro boxing media. We give you guys the best interviews, the best content, and teaching people about boxing, letting the casuals know what's really good, and just bringing up the big titles. What there it is what it is. And I want to tell you, everybody that's on this live, I appreciate every single one of you guys for just tuning in. You guys could have been doing anything, but make sure you guys smash the like button. You know what I'm saying? And let's keep this channel going. We just reached 10,000 subscribers, and we'll just keep going until we hit a million, man. Much love to you guys. It's your boy Mills from Mill City Boxing, home of the high level pro boxing media. Guys, God bless, and on to the next.